Okay, what's up, everybody? I'm back with are we on the fifth episode of this review series out of at least 500? And I'm not actually joking when I say that. Today I actually watched Iron Man again, and I can probably go through a lot of these MCU movies without having to go through I probably don't have to watch them, but I am just to be accurate with my assessment. But especially Iron Man, I know this movie inside and out. Is it good? Is probably the question. Is it good? Is it a good movie? I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Yes, that is my answer. Yes, it is a good movie. Are we talking all time great? No. I think the people who say this movie is like an all time great MCU movie are maybe it's not a it's a pretty great MCU movie, but saying it's one of the all time great movies of all time is a lot. Sure, it's inspirational. Sure, it started this whole cinematic universe concept, but there's something missing from the movie, and I don't know what it is. Because I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think. Obviously, the movie's pretty good, and I don't think they really made a ton of mistakes here. There's just something missing. Something that a lot of other Marvel movies have, that I'm just not getting from this movie, and I think it's the fact that it feels isolated. Because it is. This is the only MCU movie that is 100% completely isolated. It's crazy to even think about, but this is the one movie, the whole MCU, that is just completely without any interaction with other characters in any regard at all. There are plenty of other movies where there's at least references to stuff. The only other time where this happens is in other universes. When we talk about Venom, or we talk about Spider-Man, or The Amazing Spider-Man, those universes are the only other times where this happens. Where there's interaction, and it's just not, sure there's interaction, but they're not really interacting with other heroes. There's just interactions between other characters in the series. But even Iron Man doesn't have that, because it's its own standalone. But with Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, Venom, those universes, they only really interact with the people inside their own respective series, because there's no one else to interact with right now. Obviously, as we know, I don't expect Maguire or Garfield to really get another movie. It remains to be seen, really, what's going to happen with those two. I know they're going to come back, but solo movies might not be how they come back. But we know Venom's going to get a third movie. That's another thing about Iron Man. When you watch it, you know that that he's not... Basically, you know that he's going to have more movies. Even if you're not, a huge fan of the MCU, you can kind of look at him and be like, this is their flagship hero. This is the guy. Is he a good flagship hero? Is he a good main character? I don't want to call anyone the main character of the MCU, because I really don't think there are. Wikipedia, actually, if you go to, I think it's called Characters of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the article, you'll actually see they break it down, and they actually have, a list of who qualifies as a primary character, a side character, and then, kind of a minor character. So, supporting characters is the term. So, supporting and then minor. And then other characters, maybe that appear in different universes, like Venom would be one. And I just kind of look at that, and I'm like, is Iron Man still the number one guy? And I don't even know if he is right now, to be honest with you. I mean, we all know what happens to Iron Man. I can't... It's insane to me to even think about, but, Iron Man really isn't part of the MCU anymore, in terms of, the character. And there could be another main character that pops up. Is it Spider-Man? I don't know. But it is kind of weird to think about. Just as a whole future side element to it. Talking about the actual movie, the villain of this movie is god-awful. Jeff Bridges does I think the best he can do. I don't know. I haven't really seen him in much else. But he doesn't play a terrible villain. He plays the villain about the way you would expect the villain to be played. But I, for one, cannot possibly see um, Jeff Bridges as anyone other than a villain. So I guess at most he makes an iconic role here. Obviously, we know he just never the hell comes back. I don't think he ever comes back. Does he even come back in What If? I don't think he ever comes back. He'll probably come back at some point in What If, because that's an easy way to get past characters in. But as for the live action movies, he's done. He's been done. He was done in the first movie. Could you imagine being Jeff Bridges and being like, I was in the MCU and then I was out? Bro, it's like Terrence Howard, bro. They both got screwed. I don't really know what the actual what the mathematics or analytics were behind them leaving, but with Jeff Bridges is probably just because he got killed off. But for Terrence Howard, I have no idea. I think it was a contract issue. That's all I know. But he was not an amazing War Machine. I definitely prefer Don Cheadle. Um, I think he gives more of that like tough, but like also someone who Tony would actually want to hang out with. Maybe. I feel like Terrence was always like I don't know. He didn't. I don't know. Don Cheadle always felt more like alive. You know, more vibrant. I feel like Terrence Howard was kind of just going through the motions. You know, he's not a bad War Machine. I don't think he would have been bad at all. But yeah, you know. And then Pepper, of course, is Pepper. I think Pepper's a good character up until like Iron Man 2, maybe 3. So she really has just this movie where I think she's really good in. And she's okay. It's not like Mary Jane Raimi esque type of I can't stand this person, but she's definitely like just an okay character afterwards, you know. And it's really kind of sad because I feel like her role, and especially Iron Man 2, should have been that of Black Widow's. And we'll get into that when I review Iron Man 2. But it kind of should have been like that. Like, low key. Yeah. Maybe a little. That's just me, though. That's just me. It is what it is. Yeah. Hell, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I think I'm finished here. I'm out. I'm kidding. I still gotta give it a review. Lol. I gotta give it an actual rating. Um, for me, probably an 8 out of 10. Is that what I put Spider-Man as? This is whatever Spider-Man was. I think it was an 8 out of 10. Yeah. We're gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's solid visual effects, considering it's 2008. Um, the characters are pretty likable. Like, I really didn't hate a lot of the characters, which is surprising, because I hated a lot of the remake characters, and I still gave that an 8 out of 10. That was just iconic. Like, what was I gonna do? Not give it an 8 out of 10? But I don't love Iron Man as a hero. Like, he's not my favorite, so you have to win me over. And this movie won me over with Iron Man. You know, I think it's a classic. Um, I think most everyone you meet is going to enjoy it in some capacity, um, which is always nice. It's always nice to just have those kind of movies, and the MCU has a lot of them right at the start. There's a couple more that we'll kind of get into this phase. I think there's probably two more just in this phase alone that I think are those kind of classics that I think people just you just meet everyone and they like it in some capacity, and then you get the rest are all mid. We'll get into it. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Your thoughts on Iron Man, your thoughts on the MCU. It's fine. You can spoil. We're all good here. You can spoil. And if you don't want spoilers, then I don't know what you're doing watching an MCU review series. It's gonna be spoilers. I'm not even gonna give spoiler warnings. I'm just gonna be that one asshole that doesn't give like spoiler warnings. You have to worry about it. That sucks for you. You have to worry. Constantly be covering your ears, watching out for spoilers. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Anyways, moving on.